What kind of thing would you like to improvise?
Let's improvise a talk show, like a talk.
All right. So you've come out with a new book about your obsession with chickens. Where did this start?
Well, I mean, it was really your idea. You gave it to me in the first place because you were walking around like a chicken with your head cut off. And so I thought I'm going to write a book about it.
Like, what was it about my chicken walking that made you think about real chickens?
It was the head movement. It was like the constant pecking, like that you were doing while you're walking. It was really like I just kept thinking, okay, that's a chicken. That's a chicken book. That's a book.
And before you wrote the book, were you involved with chickens in any way?
I had a relationship with the chicken for a while.
In what way?
Well, I don't like to talk about it.
I understand. It seems I can see right now. It's obviously very emotional. Did
You have to cut his head off.
Oh my God, no.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Arlene is Alone. And today I'm alone with Colin Mochrie.
Hello.
Colin, every time I see you, you make me smile.
Oh, good, because that's part of my career. So I'm trying.
No, you do. You know, there's something about, I think there's an energy that some people just give off of, it's like there's a kindness to you. And we were just talking about kindness, but there is a kindness to you that you give it off. Like you feel like you're approachable and that you're not going to bite somebody's head off simply because they did something that you didn't like. I can't even imagine you angry.
It's rare for me to get angry. It's usually the things that make me angry are injustice or someone's mean to my family. But not that I always see the other person's point of view, but I try to give them leeway. So, and I've been incredibly fortunate in my life, so I really don't have a reason to be a dick yet. Things could change.
Things could change.
You never know. But yeah, I've been pretty lucky. And I love my wife and I have a great daughter. I'm doing a job that didn't exist when I was growing up, and it's the only thing I'm good at. So everything just kind of came together.
And you don't need AI for it.
No.
AI is not going to replace you.
No, I hope not.
No, it would never be an AI Colin. But if I just kind of going back to that kindness and that vibe you give off, because what is it? Are some people just born more optimistic and like, because you haven't had like the perfect life where everything's all roses. I know you said, well, I've got a good life, but you must have had struggles through your life.
Oh, sure. And I'm not optimistic.
Oh, no? Okay.
No.
Just you're happy, like blindly happy.
I'm married to an optimist. She is, she finds the happiness in everything. She's very kind. I've learned from people. I was never mean, and I never thought of myself as a pessimist. I always felt I was more of just a realist. I never trusted situations. I would go into it and think, you know what? Things seem fine. It could stay that way, and that would be great. But it could easily turn, so I should be ready for that. I'm not a big confrontation person. I like everything being happy and
no drama.
calm. Yeah, I've been in relationships where the other person really wanted drama, and I didn't know why. I said, because it makes you miserable. And I guess you get some sort of, I feel so alive when I'm just mad at everything. But yeah, that's not the way I like to live my life.
How long have you been married for?
I have to be very careful. It'll be 37 years in January.
37 years. So, okay. So, I mean, Deb is like a fantastic comedian too. She's spectacular. And she's like, I don't know, like 3 foot nothing. She's like tiny. How tall is she?
She's 5'1". She was 5 feet, but then she gained an inch through Pilates. She was very excited.
She did not.
She did it.
Shut up.
Yeah, 5'1".
You can, and 36 years.
36 years.
What's the secret to 36 years of marriage?
I think all the cliches, communication. 6 months into our marriage, Deb looked at me and like completely serious said, "I thought you'd be easier to change."
Oh.
And through the 36 years, I truly have. I mean, I was in relationships where I lived with people, but it's a different thing when you marry. And I'd always wanted to be married. And I realized when I got married, I didn't really have any, there isn't a handbook for it. There isn't like, and you can't, it truly is, you improvise your way through it. You certainly know when you're making mistakes. Deb is very good at nipping things in the bud, where I tend to fester. Let
Oh,
things
you let it.
fester. Yeah, I kind of keep it in. Again, this is something I've gotten much better over the 36 years. But she was always, no, there's a problem here. Let's fix it. And she would always say, when you come up against little problems or obstacles in your job, you get sort of energized by it. You think, okay, how am I going to figure this out? And in relationships, you tend to go, okay, it's over. So I use that as, yeah, okay, so we have a little problem here. That's, how do we fix it? How do we make this better? And we've always had each other's back. I think we're really each other's biggest fans. And I think that really helps in a relationship when you're in this business.
Right.
So when our daughter was born, Deb was the breadwinner. So I was the house husband. I was looking after our kid, and that's when I decided to cook and made Deb love me even more because she hasn't cooked since 1990.
No, really?
Yeah,
Do you cook? You do all the cooking?
I do all the cooking.
Is it if you cook, she cleans?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I clean, but she calls it the boy clean.
Okay.
So
She really cleans.
she really cleans it. Yeah.
When you go on set and like on improv, like on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Is it hard? Like, do you ever get like blocks?
It is the most comfortable I am in my life.
Really?
Is when I'm in front of an audience that expects a show that we don't have at that moment. And all I have are me and the people I'm working with. I'm totally relaxed. I know, and I mean, it doesn't work all the time. I wish I could say 100% success rate, but part of being an improviser is you learn quickly to how to embrace failure and not have it stop you and have it sort of free you to do more stuff and say, okay, that failed. How about this? Okay, that failed too. Well, how about this? So I find it fairly easy. Also because I'm not working by myself. I'm working with friends or people that I am assuming I can trust because we're all improvisers.
How long has that show been on the air for?
My daughter was 2 months my first show. She was 32 at our last taping.
32 years.
Yeah. And there was little breaks in between, but yeah.
I mean, I have to tell you, watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? It took me through some of my darkest days. Honestly, like you make me cry. I laugh so hard. Like some of the you say that it's like you don't have it, but I've never seen a show where didn't go, oh my gosh, that is like the funniest skit. You and Wayne and like all of you, like you're just. And sometimes when Drew was the host of the show and like even he would throw things at you guys, like it's just damn funny. Like,
Yeah.
I'm grateful to you because
thank
your humor has been, and it's been a light for me and so many Canadians. And I know is it around the world? Is it beyond Canada? I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And I'm constantly amazed at people who, we were in Italy, and someone came up, an Italian, and said, I learned how to speak English through Whose Line? I know what. Okay, well, I don't know how that worked out, but yeah, it did go around the world. And it's absolutely lovely hearing that. And because we tend to a little bit not really appreciate what we do because it's a job where we walk on stage, the audience gives us ideas, and we make it up, and then we leave.
Yep.
So you go, yeah, I was a chicken on heroin today. So here you go. But so many people have come up. I was going through a divorce,
Yeah.
or one of my parents was sick, and it's just lovely that people come up and say, for a half hour, I forgot what was going on in my life.
Especially in today's world, right? Especially in today's world.
I was fortunate in that I got just the right amount of fame where every once in a while I get a free coffee.
Yeah.
But I don't have, it's not like I'm constantly trying to prove myself or get to the next level or why am I not on that show? It's just I know what I can do and I'm happy doing it. And that's kind of what I want.
Come to Balzac's. We'll give you free coffee anytime. We will give you free coffee as long as you come in that in a cafe. It's yours. You deserve it. But I think there's this notion of celebrity being like you need to have a relationship with celebrity in order to be a successful celebrity, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like you actually have to it has to not be you. It has to be you have a relationship with it. It's a job, it's what you do.
Yeah.
But it's not who you are because I think it's so easy to get caught up in this I was thinking about it the other day on Dragon's Den. I when it was in its heyday, when things were like, we were getting more viewers than Hockey Night in Canada for a while. Like it was just crazy, and people would recognize you, and they would give you, like you said, you would be stopped, and they'd give you things, and they'd get invited everywhere, and that while I was really appreciative of it, it was overwhelming for me. I found it like I don't deserve this. Like, I'm just on a TV show. Like, like you just felt like it was almost this two-tiered system of, privilege that you didn't deserve to have because you were doing what you love,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Deb calls the guy on Whose Line the Other because it's not me.
It's not you.
It's my job. And I think that's something we both had was that's our job and this is our life.
Yeah.
There really should be a kind of celebrity school where you learn how to deal with people because, people will come up. We were in Disneyland. I had just gotten off the phone with my mother telling me my grandfather had died. So it was like, and then all of a sudden it was in the heyday of Whose Line. So then kind of swarmed. I thought, okay, well, these people don't know what I'm going through. And so at that moment, I was Colin Mochrie, the guy on Whose Line. So I was able to deal with it. And then afterwards, deal with my life. And that's really helped because I've never felt comfortable with people. Deb is the really outgoing one. She's the storyteller. There's nothing, when we go to a party, I just love to sit in the corner and listening to her stories and everybody else's. So it was kind of a learning experience to, these people, they are the ones through watching me who have given me a career. I can't give them a minute. And they don't want to know what I'm going through. They just want this moment to connect with someone that they like on television. So I'm going to give them with that because I'm still going to be grieving. That's not going to stop, but I don't have to share it with these people I don't know.
Yeah. What strikes me about what you do for a living, and I could be completely off base here, but as I've gotten older, my my ability to be quick in my thoughts is a little bit slower. Like I still think I'm fast. I still think I'm responsive and quick, but I know that I'm not quite as sharp as I used to be. Improv is all about like using your mind fast, right?
Yeah.
How do you keep that going? Like, do you do puzzles? Do you do?
I do a lot of word games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to. Deb and I actually maybe 20 years ago decided to actually use the rules of improv in our life,
Okay.
which basically it goes against what we do as people. That's why people always say improv's so hard, and it's not. It's just you do what you don't do. You have
Tell
to
me.
listen to people.
Okay.
You have to accept their ideas and build on it,
Okay.
and you have to make them look good.
That's it?
That's it.
You have to make the other person look good. You have to accept their ideas.
And you listen to
And you have to listen.
because all you have is that other person and whatever the audience goes, and they could say something totally sort of a throwaway line that can become gold, would take you into a whole new direction. And the saying yes is something that always trips up people when we've taught workshops, trying to get someone to say yes to someone's idea if they didn't get to theirs first. It's very hard to do. So part of it is your ego. You want your idea to be the best, but it doesn't work that way in improv.
So I remembered it says something about me that I remembered, make the other person look like I remember 2 of the 3 things and I didn't remember listen. What does that say? But I think I'm a good
Yeah,
listener.
maybe exactly. You do it naturally. So,
So let's
that's
do
where.
improv.
All right.
Let's do it. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes.
What kind of thing would you like to improvise?
Let's improvise a talk show, like a talk
All
show.
right. So you've come up with a new book about your obsession with chickens. Where did this start?
Well, I mean, it was really your idea. You gave it to me in the first place because you were walking around like a chicken with your head cut off. And so I thought I'm going to write a book about it.
Like, what was it about my chicken walking that made you think about real chickens?
It was the head movement. It was like the constant pecking, like that you were doing while you're walking. It was really like I just kept thinking, okay, that's a chicken. That's a chicken book. That's a book.
And before you wrote the book, were you involved with chickens in any way?
I had a relationship with the chicken for a while.
In what way?
Well, I don't like to talk about it.
I understand. It seems I can see right now. It's obviously very emotional. Did
I
you?
have to cut his head off.
Oh my God, no! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So no sequel to the book? Okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. See how easy that was?
It's no, it was hard. I had to think.
Oh, you just spoke and you had emotion. It's rare you get an emotion in.
My chicken died. The chicken. I mean, I can see what you say though. Like I can see that you're never wanting to, say that's a stupid idea or why
Yeah.
would you say that?
Because you never. I mean, there could be the stupidest idea in the world, but you go with it, and something can come out of that.
Yeah.
It's like I guess like a brainstorming. When we've brainstormed some ideas, you come up with like the stupidest thing, and then but it leads to something that's not stupid. But you need that stupid idea to sort of give you inspiration.
When you think back, your span of your career is decades now. I don't know about you, but I think, I don't have that, like maybe I have maybe if I'm really lucky, I have another 20 healthy years ahead of me, right? If I have 20 healthy years ahead of me, how do I want to spend it has become such a burning question in my head. Do you think about that at all?
Oh yeah, certainly more than I ever have, and I think that's part of the aging process. When COVID happened, and I know that was a horrible thing, I loved that period. I was home for the first time in 20 years for like 2 years straight. And I found my wife and I still enjoyed each other. I still managed to do like some Zoom shows, not quite the same, but it kept the creative thing going. And I thought, and it was unconscious, but I was going too much in the professional part of my life and not giving enough care to the personal part. I think there's always been a fear of saying no to something, and then that'll be the end,
Yeah.
and there's no more. So that became a worry, and Deb said, don't worry about that. So it was like, yeah, okay. So I've tried to make more of a balance between those two things. It hasn't totally gone that way, although it's been nice. Deb and I have been doing shows together, which is good. But I would like to just take more time with Deb and Kinley and travel and do those things. I don't think I could ever fully retire because I need it's like a drug in many ways.
You need it.
I need that. So but I would like to really cut back.
Now, are you and your daughter are really close? I know that. Do you want to just talk a little bit about your relationship with your daughter, with your as a family unit, and how that's evolved?
Yes. Well, I guess the major thing was we started off with a little boy, and then that changed. She came out as trans, I guess, about 10 years now. And it was an interesting, I've never used the word journey more in my life as when that first happened. And I think it really helped Deb and I that we were improvisers, because it was yes, and we kind of accepted. And also, we knew this person.
Yeah.
We raised her. We knew who she was. She wasn't someone who just jumped into something. Everything was, when she was a kid, we go, "Hey, do you want to do this?" She goes, "Can I think about it and I'll get back to you in an hour or so." Sure. Okay.
Very, very clear on what
She
you
was,
like.
yeah, she wanted to make sure, and she's still that way. So it wasn't, and it really wasn't a shock because we were so close. She was incredibly open with us. Sometimes I felt too open. There was some stuff like, I don't need to know everything, but she came out as bi, and then every time she would say, "Can we go to the kitchen?" And we'd go to the kitchen, and she would tell us something.
Yeah.
So it was she was bi, and then we went to the kitchen before our trip to Japan. She said, "I'd like to experiment more with my feminine side and try more feminine clothes." And I went, "Sure." And then the third time was, um, I'm a woman. And Deb said, "If we go to the kitchen one more time, she's killed someone."
No more,
There's nothing left.
trips. No more kitchen trips.
So that was, it was fairly easy for us because I guess it was a surprise, but it wasn't a shock.
Yeah.
And when you look back, you go, "Oh, yeah, of course. It totally makes sense." So, and she was great in giving us a lot of material to look at and read about. And she was open with us asking about anything. I mean, there was still, the parent daughter sometimes she would get a little, short with us and was like, "Hey, we've had 26 years with one thing,
Yeah.
and we're really trying hard, and I think we're doing really good, but we do slip up."
Yeah.
And then she came to, yes, of course, and kind of relaxed that way. But she's just a wonderful person. She's at ease with children, with seniors. That's something I think Deb has really instilled in her. She was very close to her grandparents. She is an activist, always fights for the underdog. She's, you strive to make your kids better than you. And I think that was a plus for us. We really did well. She's great.
Well, she's great, but the whole journey, I'll use the word,
Sure,
the
please.
whole journey you've been on with her, though, just talks to the fact that she included you in that journey too. Like she didn't, it was not like just one day, like hear about so many trans kids that can't tell their parents, that can't, have them understand. So you must have had a really strong relationship to the with.
We did, but there was also, I didn't realize still how difficult it was we weren't the first people who knew.
Okay.
Her friends, her really close friends knew first. And she was nervous about, even though, as I said, we had a great relationship. We have a great relationship. We were very open. There was something that,
Stopped her.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think how many other people is that who don't actually get to their side of actually coming out and saying it. So, and it's, I mean, with everything that's happening right now, also, it's just everything is just so disappointing. You think at this point, why?
Who cares?
How is this affecting your life in
I
any
know.
way?
I know. It's I was thinking about you saying that she, likes to, take care of the underdog. And what went through my head was she's been an underdog.
Yeah.
She's experienced the pain of people, either making fun of her or, or telling her that she's, doesn't
Yeah.
have the right to be who she is.
Yeah, I really admire her for everything she's done. And, Deb and I are changing people's thoughts one person at a time because, Deb is a very incredibly protective mother and almost got into a fist fight at the X. But we were in, I know,
I can see little Dab doing that.
she gets very sarcastic and that hurts. We were in Las Vegas because we're doing some shows there, and we were having breakfast, and this gentleman came up and said, I'm a big fan of the show. I said, oh, thank you. I have a picture. And then we just started talking. And they started to talk, I kind of miss the old times where men were men and women were women. And I could just see it and thought, oh, okay, here we go. I thought, okay, I'll just. And she said, I just want you to know, um, I have a trans daughter. And he went, oh, no. She said, no, it's all right. I just want you to know this isn't something that's happened in the last 20 years. They've always been here.
Yes.
They haven't been allowed to be who they are. And my daughter is a lovely person. And if you met her, you would love her, as are many of the people in her community. They just want to live their life, be who they are, and be happy.
Yeah.
And by the end, he was crying and said, I'm going to talk to my son today and we're going to talk. And I thought, okay, that's one. And now hopefully he'll change his son. That'll be two. And then it'll keep going until finally someday it'll just be, so what?
It should be so. I mean, I get really angry. It's hard not. Angry isn't the right thing to be. Although I do think anger fuels action. But when I hear that people say, "Oh, trans people should not be in sports, or they should not read books to kids, or they shouldn't be in the same bathrooms for their gender, whatever they've identified as," I go crazy. Like I honestly go crazy. Like I think, what on earth is like you're just first of all you're letting people be who they are. So I really applaud that Deb and you did that with that gentleman, and that you do think about changing one person at a time, because you can't. People they need personal
It truly is.
understanding.
It's ignorance.
Yes.
They say, I've never met a trans person. You'd probably be surprised. You
probably
probably have.
Yeah.
And, there are times where I read in social media, people talk about I was raised in a homophobic, transphobic, and then once I left and I was working, it was like my eyes they were people. They were just people. And it's like, yeah.
So true. When you think about what's going on in the world today, and it's a very serious topic, we've gone from humor to something very serious. But when you think about what's going on in the world and the lack of acceptance, we talk about tolerance, and tolerance is actually not acceptance. I mean, I've used the word a lot myself. Be more tolerant. It's actually be more accepting. Like just accept people for who they are. Like you don't need to change them. It's not you're tolerating or putting up with somebody. You're accepting them. And so when I think about the world today, and I'm just so discouraged by it all, Colin. Like I really struggle to
Yeah.
stay positive, and I'm been cheerleading for Canada like as much as I possibly can, because I think this country has an opportunity to be that accepting nation that says everybody can be who they are. But what do you think about the next 20 years in the next generation's life? What are they going to experience? Because they're not going to have our childhood.
No, I truly don't know. And I know a lot of times people either make fun or disparage the younger generations, which has been going on forever. But I know people in my daughter's group of friends and younger who are exceptional people who look out for each other and look out for injustice and try to make the world better. And I hope that is the bad stuff is always going to seem amplified, because that's the stuff that sells news. It's so frustrating, because at times you feel, what can I do? How can I change this? When you see what's happening every night in the news on social media, you just see all the negative. And even if somebody comes up with a nice thing, there'll be somebody who just finds a way to undercut it. It's like, why? You took time out. There was no reason for you to do that. You could have read that and said, well, that's a piece of crap or whatever. But no, you felt, no, you know what? I'm going to tell them. But it's like, why? What has that just accomplished besides, I guess, made you feel good? But is that the way you feel good? I just wish everybody was like us.
Yes. Why isn't the world more like us?
Come on.
Come on. We're like, but I that's actually really interesting to me, because I I put a lot of stuff out on social media. I talk a lot about our nation, and I talk a lot about, like trying to, be positive about what we're trying to build here in our country. And you're right. No matter how I say it, and I spend a lot, trust me, I spend a lot of time
About edit.
thinking about the words because I don't want to, like okay, if I say it like this, I'm going to get people just dumping on me. So I got to say it this way. And so I try to say it in a way that's as least offensive as I can be while still being clear about my opinion, right? And inevitably, I mean, it's like they're waiting at the keyboard, to just
There are some people
shit all over you.
it's like that's their job. Just troll everything.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, there are better ways to spend your time.
No, I really like that, and I imagine 10 years from now, because we never really finished that thought, but you're doing the same thing, only it's a version of the same thing, right? It's making yourself uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I wonder how much longer can I do this where people won't just go, oh, I hope he doesn't fall.
No, I think you can do it as long as you want to do it. I think certainly age changes us, and certainly age, but it doesn't define us. And that's, I think, the difference.
And that's something else that I think people would smarten up about.
Yeah. Ageism.
If you're lucky, you're all going to be old.
Yeah.
So maybe start changing the way attitudes are towards older people now so that you can reap the benefits.
So true. It's so true. Like ageism is true. Ageism can be for when you're if you're young, if you're old, like quit judging again.
Yeah.
Quit judging people. Accept people. I love this conversation. Colin, you and I, we CBC introduced us.
Yeah.
CBC's introduced me to some of my favorite people in the world, of which you are definitely one of them. You and Deb have always been nothing but kind and nice to me, and so yeah. Anyway,
I'm doing better than the chicken.
yeah, the chicken's dead. I cooked the chicken. Any last words to our audience that you want to share with people before we leave?
Just try to be better. Whether it's just taking a moment to help that person with their groceries, or notice a person who's having trouble in the streets, or giving your seat to someone on the bus. Just one little moment of kindness could actually change their lives, and it could maybe sort of snowball in you and keep moving it along.
Yeah. Very, very, very profound words. Colin, thank you. Thank you for taking the time and being so kind and coming here and doing the show with me.
It was lovely seeing you. We should do more shows together.
We should.
I think we got this improv thing down.
I'm willing to give it a try.
All right, let's go into it.
Okay.